Greenland is not the prize. NATO is. This is not about Greenland. This is not about the Arctic. And it is not about minerals or military bases. This is about how to break NATO from the inside. If the United States ever turns pressure on Greenland, the alliance collapses. Not tomorrow. Not eventually. Immediately. Because NATO was never built to survive an internal aggressor. That is the real danger. And that is why Greenland matters. Now let's explain why. The United States already has what it needs in Greenland. It already operates a military base there. It already has access, reach, and control over Arctic surveillance. There is no strategic necessity for escalation. None. So if pressure continues anyway, the objective cannot be security. It has to be something else. That something else is leverage. NATO was designed for one clear scenario: an attack from outside the alliance. Article 5 works when the enemy is external. What NATO was never designed to handle is coercion from within. An ally that applies pressure without crossing the legal line into open war. There is no doctrine for this, no rulebook, no response mechanism. If the strongest member of the alliance starts testing how far it can bend the rules, NATO does not respond. It freezes. This is where Europe makes a critical mistake. European leaders instinctively retreat to treaties and legality. They assume that formal agreements will hold because they exist, but treaties do not enforce themselves. And recent history has shown that agreements can be ignored, rewritten, or hollowed out when they stop serving political interests. Security based on restraint is not security. It is hope. Now comes the part Europe is uncomfortable with. You do not need to prove conspiracy or control to see the strategic alignment. Over time, the political effect of Donald Trump's actions has been consistent. NATO unity weakens, trust erodes, European hesitation grows, Russian strategic pressure becomes easier. From Moscow's perspective, this is perfect. Russia does not need to defeat NATO militarily. It only needs to make it incoherent. A confrontation over Greenland would achieve that faster than any Russian military operation ever could. An external attack might unify the alliance. Internal pressure paralyzes it. That is why Greenland is the perfect pressure point. It is legally protected, symbolically enormous, militarily exposed. Any escalation forces Europe into an impossible choice: confront the United States and risk the alliance, or submit and accept the erosion of sovereignty. Either choice damages NATO. This is not about annexation. It is about testing whether alliance rules still hold or whether protection has become conditional. And there is a simple test. If pressure continues despite no strategic need, if escalation persists where access already exists, then the objective becomes clear. The goal is not Greenland. The goal is NATO. Europe can no longer assume that American self-restraint will preserve its security. Alliances survive on shared assumptions. Once those assumptions collapse, legal texts become decoration. Greenland is not the prize. NATO is. If you found this analysis useful, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and visit westernrelations.com for European political analysis that does not look away. Thank you for watching.